So this is video 5.4, B as in boy, elementary algebra, and this is pretty much just going over some of the things in the problem set. So as I look at these, 1 through 12, you're just telling me if they're trinomials, binomials, or monomials, and give the degree. So when you look at one like 12, it's a monomial because there's only one term, and the degree of any kind of a number with no variable is 0. So the degree would be 0. If you look at number 6, it's a binomial because there's two terms, the 4 and the 7x, and the degree of that binomial is 1 because the x has an exponent of 1. And that's it. If you look at 8, it's a binomial, and the degree is 3 because there's a 3 on the a. And that's the biggest exponent. 13 through 18, write each polynomial in standard form. So remember, if you look at something like 16, we've got 2x cubed minus 6 plus x to the 4th minus x. So what I suggest doing is writing the degree of each of these and then put them in that order from largest to smallest. So x to the 4th plus 2x cubed minus x minus 6. There you go. Okay, so I did the 4, the 3, the 1, and the 0 in that order. Okay, not much to that. All right. 19 through 26, evaluate each polynomial for the given value of the variable. So they just give you your x and you stick it into the problem. If you look at number 24, they give you 4a squared plus 5a minus 9, and they say a equals 0. So we will put anything times 0, 0, anything times 0, 0, minus 9, so I get negative 9 for my answer there for number 24. So 27 to 34, you're just adding, so all you have to do is take off the parentheses, add like terms, and you're good to go. Make sure you put it in standard form. In 35 to 40, you're just finding the opposite of each polynomial. 2x plus 6. To do the opposite, you just put a parenthesis around the whole thing and put the opposite sign on there. And then, to take the parentheses off, because of that negative, you make everything their opposite signs, and you have the opposite. So the opposite of the original, 2x plus 6, is that right there. Okay? So, 41 to, what is it? 50, well, to 62. You're just following the instructions that they give you. So let's kind of look at a couple here. Perform the indicated operation. Let's jump down to number 50. Okay, so number 50, we're just going to go ahead and take off the parentheses. Don't change the sign because there was a plus sign in front of that second parenthesis. Alright, so like terms, that is like that. Unfortunately, they have common denominators, so I can just add my 3 and 5 and get 8 over 8. And those are done. Okay, now we're going to do negative 5 sevenths x squared minus 2 sevenths x squared. Negative 5 minus 2 is negative 7. This is really kind of an easy one. And then negative 2 fifths plus 7 fifths is plus 5 fifths. Alright, what do we know about any number over itself? It's 1. Any number over itself. Any number over itself. So x cubed minus x squared plus 1 would be the answer for 50. Now when you get to one like 51, which is probably one I should have done. Okay, so this one's number 51, so let's give this one a shot. So first of all, we're going to take off the parentheses, so I'm going to pause it here. Okay, so notice when I took these parentheses off, because of that minus, I changed the sign to everything there. Alright, so the things that I'm going to combine is that and that. So I'm just going to rewrite this with those like terms together. Okay, so those have been just moved. Plus 1/3 x squared, and I'm going to combine it with that. Okay, just because they're close, or just putting them closer together, minus 2x minus 1/2 x. So I'm just putting all of these together. Plus 1 plus 3/4. Alright, so I have these like terms, these like terms, these like terms, and these like terms. So I've got, 4 different sections there. So let's go ahead and move some of this up and out of the way. So this here, we need to add those. So I've got 5/9 x cubed, and I need to make this a 9, so that's going to be a 6/9. So I just changed 2/3 to having a common denominator, which we've done. And I'm going to do the same thing here, 1/3 x squared minus 1, or 3/3 x squared. So in order to make 1 having a common denominator of 3, I need to make it 3/3, because any number over itself is 1, and I happen to pick 3/3, so it matches with that. Minus 4/2x minus 1/2 x. Okay, so I needed to have a 2, and over here I've got a 2/1. So in order to make this 1 here a 2, I had to multiply 1 times 2 and get 2. 2 times 2 to get 4. So now 4/2 is equal to 2/1, but it's got a common denominator with that. Alright, so I do the same thing here. I take 1 and make it 4/4 so that it has a common denominator with 3/4. Now I can start combining. So I'm going to combine those. 5 minus 6 is -1/9. So all I did was took 5/9 minus 6/9 and then tagged the x cubed onto it. Now I've got 1 minus 3 is -2. -4 minus 1 is -5 halves. And then this is going to be 7/4. And at that point, we're done. That is probably, from what I can see, the hardest one in here. When you're doing 55 through 62, just make sure you're following what they're asking you to do. In fact, I'm going to grab one like 62 here and just kind of go over that, because that one is a really scary looking one, isn't it? If I can get rid of all this stuff. I like to make screen clear. Alright, so 61. Subtract 2x plus 1 from the sum of so that means we're adding the final two. So we're adding them together, and then it says subtract 2x plus 1 from the answer there. So let's get the answer here first. 3x and 11x is 14x. -2 plus 5 is 3. So that's the sum of this right there. And we're going to subtract 2x plus 1 from that sum. Now notice, I put this again in parentheses. You have to put it in parentheses here. And then we've got this opposite sign, or that minus sign. So then we can take the parentheses off as long as we change the sign of everything in there. So 14x minus 2x is 12x. Positive 3 minus 1 is positive 2. So that should be the answer for number 61. And that should get you going for 5.4 problem set.